Okay, we're up to Daf Ayin Vav Amid Aleph and Gitin in the sugi of Tanoim, different conditions. We saw the other day that like Reb Meir, that every Tanai it has to be like the Tanai Bnei Gad and Bnei Ruvain. That's the classic Tanai of the Torah, that if they go into Eretz Yisrael and fight, then they'll get the Eivah Yadin. If they won't, they won't. And you had to go ahead and double up. You had to say what? You had to say both. You also said you needed the Tanai Kard and Lamaisa, right? Yeah. And you have to be in the same Inyan. But again, not everyone agrees with that. The Chachamim disagree. They just said that you did not need it tonight. We don't learn out from. And this is the Sugya where we see it said openly. Says the Gemara, 3 lines from the top, Ayin, Vav, Amin Aleph. Tan Rabbanan. This is you get that you mashamish my father, say Shalom 2 years. If you mashamish my father for 2 years, it's a get. If not, not. And that you nurse my son, say Shalom for 2 years. Even if you don't fulfill the Tanai, how is that get? You know why? Because you didn't go ahead, you didn't double down. You didn't say im tishamshim loy tishamshim tiniki im loy tiniki. It's divrei Rabbi Meir. These are the words of Rabbi Meir. The Rabbi is of the opinion. Rabbi is of the opinion that in order for Tanai to be a Tanai, it has to be a Tanai kafel. It has to be a double Tanai. So Mamela over here, where you didn't double down, so automatically what happens, guys? The Tanai again. This is always the rule of thumb. Tanai batal u'maisakayim. Tanai. In other words, napshat. If it's not a Tanai, it's not a get. If it's not a Tanai, it is a get. Right? Tanai batal u'maisakayim. So over here, since you failed to create the Tanai properly, because you didn't double it up like Tanai b'nei Gad and Ruvain, which is the shita of Reb Meir. So Mamela, you don't have to fill the Tanai because there is no Tanai, and therefore that would be a get. That is the shita of Reb Meir. No. This guy Tanai, how is that get? Rim Lav ain't a get, because the Chacham of the opinion that what you do not need a Tanai kafel, even if you just go ahead and say that one time it's enough. Again, I think there's also the rate over here is we pass him like Rabbi kol almanas kol me achshav dami. So maybe you wouldn't need a Tanai kafel. Anyone who says almanas is like you're saying from now. So how is that getting almanas to Sham? You know, it could be when if you say an almanas in the Tanai, you would not need a Tanai kafel. But perhaps in other venues you might. Okay, there's rate on that. Says the Gemara Vayta. Anyway, so you have 2 shitas. The shita of Meir. Meir says you need a Tanai kafel, and the shita of the Chachamim you do not need a Tanai kafel, and therefore if you're not kind of Tanai, it's not a get. We have a cryptic statement of Shimon Gamliel Loimer. Ein lecha Tanai b'ksuvim she'ena kafel. There is no Tanai in the ksuvim that is not enough. Anytime it's written, anytime you find a Tanai that's written, it's written Tanai kafel. Rashi brings by the guys by Isha Saita, Im Shachav Im Loy Shachav, right? By Isha Saita, we had such a lashon. By where was the other one was in by Avram Avinu. By Avram Avinu, he said that if the girl comes back with you, you have made a shur tell yes to go take a not from Neches, from that, and if not, you had if not, so you needed Tanai kafel. So now the question is, when Rabbi Shimon Gamliel said that Eddie Tanai you need a Tanai kafel, was he agreeing with Reb Meir or was he agreeing with the Chachamim? Was he agreeing with Reb Meir or was he agreeing with the Chachamim? That's the question. Okay, who was he agreeing with? Okay, says the Gemara. There's those that say Reb Meir Kamalei. He was saying it according to Reb Meir. And he was saying he was going to Reb Meir Kamalahu. Kamalei. Ein lecha Tanai b'ksuvim she'ena kafel. Right? There's no Tanai in the ksuvim that's not doubled up, and therefore b'havlei shnei ksuvim abayin ke'echad. V'chol shnei ksuvim abayin ke'echad ein malamdim. Okay, just like Reb Meir, you need a Tanai kafel, right? Where do we find Tanai kafel? We find it b'nei Gad, b'nei Ruvain, and every Tanai in the Torah also by Saita, by Avram Avinu, we find Tanai kafel. So viewed that way could be the following: if the Torah wanted me to always to go ahead and have a Tanai kafel, it would say it once. Why are you repeating it? To tell me that dafki in those places do you need it, but all over not. Because the Torah wants to teach you something, it only says it once. when it says it twice, and I guess you'd have to say over here, even though it's said a third time, maybe it's considered one thing, that once it's repeated twice, the concept, so meaning it's limited to those places, and therefore the words of Shimon Gamliel is to support the Chachamim that you do not need a Tanai Kafel and argue on Reb Meir. Good? That's one way to learn. Ikadiyami, one more time. Ikadiyami, Ravi, we're opposite the Taisus, Vahavi, three lines up. Ikadiyami Reb Meir Kamalei, Ikadiyami Rabban Kamalei. Again, Ikadiyami Reb Meir. Now Reb Meir is the one who said that you need a Tanai Kafel. This is what he's telling him. In other words, he's arguing with him. So it's limited only to those two locale, but everyone else not. So Reb Shimon Gamliel is telling Reb Meir that you say that you need a Tanai Kafel is not true. It's not true. No. There's no Tanai B'Ksuvim that's not kafel, and therefore you would not be correct in saying that if it's kind of Tanai, it's not a good Tanai, my Sakayim, because it's not a Tanai kafel. We learn from it. Okay, guys, outside, look at me. Let's make sure we get this. Guys, outside, look at me. Yeah, Maisa, Machloikas to Ramey and the Chachamim. Says Ramey, you need a Tanai kafel. We learn from Ruvain. Says the Chachamim, you don't need Tanai kafel. We have a Shimon Gamliel saying what? Any Tanai in the Torah, Ksuvim in the Torah is Tanai kafel. Who is he supporting? With there's two directions. He's either supporting Ramey or supporting the Chachamim. How can he be supporting the Chachamim? That since it says it once by Bnei Gad, Bnei Ruvain, and it says it by Isha Sota, for example, it's Shnei Ksuvim Bain Kecha Veim Lamdim. So therefore, over here in our case, over here, if you would not fulfill the Tanai, that would be Mishamish or nurse this child, it would not be what it would not be a good get because you have to fulfill the Tanai. According to the other opinion, is that no. He's supporting Reb Meir, and he's telling the Chacham, any Tanai we find in the Torah is Tanai Kafel and Mela. Since over here you didn't double down on the Tanai about Mishamish the father when nursing the child, it's not a good Tanai. Since it's not a good Tanai Batal my Sakayim, and therefore it is a good get even without the fulfillment of the Tanai. That's all we said so far this evening. The Machlokes, the Reb Meir and the Chachamim, and Reb Shimon ben Gamliel's interpretation. Who is he supporting? Says the Gemara Vaita. Urmino, let's do a stira. Now again, Ramey says here Tanai Kafel, right? And the Chachamim say not. Urmino, I was there. Gitek, this is your get. Almanas sheteshamshi es abba shtei shonim. Almanas shetniki es banai shtei shonim. Mesa ben or mesa av umesa ben. If the father dies or the son dies, ain't get. It's not a get. Div Ramey. Now, guys, like Ramey, since you didn't double down, it should be a good get. Like Ramey, since you didn't double down, it should be a good get. Kasha de Ramey, ad Ramey. Ramey said before that what it's a good get because the Tanai is batal. Over here he says no, the Tanai is in existence. How do you know the Tanai is in existence? Because you can't fulfill it. Because the son's dead, he can't nurse, and the father's dead, and he can't be mishamishim. So you see the Tanai is in existence. I kasha Ramey, I didn't double. The Chachamim ma'imim afal pi shaloi this guy matanai. How is that get? Why? Give me your father, and I'll go ahead and nurse him. Kasha the Rameya. Rameya said in the first place, you need Tanai Kafel. If you don't have it, it's a good get. Here he says it's not a good get if you don't fulfill the Tanai. Kasha the Rabbanan. The Rabbanan said what? That the Tanai, you can't fulfill it, right? And therefore what? And therefore the get is bottled. And over here, the latter one, he says no. The get would be Kayim. So you have a kasha on Ramey, Ramey kasha on Rabbanan. Says more ad Ramey and Ramey kasha. Hasam, in the case where he said it's a good get, we said the case it is a good get because you didn't double the Tanai is b'loi kaflei Tanai. Since you didn't double on Tanai, what are we going to say, guys? If you didn't double on the Tanai batal my sakayim, therefore you're divorced. And hacha with the kaflei Tanai. And over here he doubled on the Tanai and you fulfill it. You double on Tanai. Why did you say? This is your get, Mishamish. If you don't Mishamish, not your get. Husband, father dies. So in other words, it's a good get, it's a good Tanai. Once it's a good Tanai, you need to fulfill it. That would be a way to answer up the steer Dermeya and Dermeya. So where he said it was a good get is where what? He didn't double down. Where's it? Where it's not a good get, he doubled down and you didn't fulfill the Tanai. You didn't double down and you didn't fulfill the Tanai.
You're changing the statement.
Correct.
So Bryce, doesn't say.
Again, this is the way we can learn. It doesn't say it, but we can. In other words, in the first brisa, it mentioned openly you didn't do it. Over here, it didn't mention it. So by it's not mentioning, we could say obviously you did. The Torah is not, going at lengths to speak it out. And as you can infer from the first one where he did state it, Rav Avi, that over here, you understand what I'm saying? Next, now, Rabbanan like kasha, the Rabbanan is not a kasha. Now, what was the kasha? The Rabbanan said initially you had to fulfill the Tanai, and therefore it's not a good get. And later she said, no, it is a good get because she could tie what? Bring me your father, bring me your kid. Man chachamim dahacha. Who's the chacham over here? Shim Gamliel. It's the opinion of Shim Gamliel who said earlier, get. Any ikov, that's not a result, though, it's not a get. Guys, look at the Amid base. Yesterday's Amid base. I hear Amid base. Any ikov that's not a result of how is that get? So in other words, so the brisa that said it's not a good get because you didn't fulfill the condition is the chachamim. This one over here that said that the condition is there, you didn't fulfill it, is Rav Shimon Gamliel, and therefore everything's good. Guys are good. We had a stira in Rameya, we had a stira in the chachamim. Rameya's stira. Where is it a good get? But a tanai is not a tanai. Where is it not a good get? But a tanai is a good tanai because you double down. The chachamim. When is it a good tanai? When it's always a good tanai, you don't need tanai kafel. When is it not a get? When you don't fulfill the tanai. When is it a get? Because of Shem Gamliel is when you want to fill the tanai, but it's out of your hands because the father's dead or the son is dead, and you can't nurse him. You can't be mishamish the father. Very good, Shema. Tan Rabbana, Amma Allah b'fnei shnayim. Say in front of two people. Harizakitech al menashe teshamshes abba beishanim. V'chazav Amma Allah b'fnei shnayim. So now what did you do? You said two Tanoim, one Shimush, one 200. Okay, we're familiar with these guys. Good. Now, a little Kanech over here. Fellas, if you give a get over and you say the Tanai, there's no backsies. You can't create another Tanai. So it's a moot point over here to say, oh, you said Shimush father 200 if you gave over the get. It must be speaking when you said the Tanai Bal Peh, but you didn't give over the get. Had you given over the get, you'd be locked in. That's the only Tanai in town. So look at Rashi, guys. Very kishmaka Rashi. You didn't give it over in front of Adam. The masrula igrishallah b'hai Tanai v'sula imatzi lasluye Tanai achrina. We'd be divorced with that Tanai of Shemesh the father, and you wouldn't have the capacity to go ahead and say $200. When I'll give it to you, I'm only giving you on the condition that she's Mishamis the father. Then when you give over the second, then when you give over the get, then you say the second Tanai. So the first Tanai was not accompanied by the Masira of the get, but the second Tanai was. So now one get or two get? One get with two Tanoim. So what did he mean? What are the options? Either the first is in vogue and the second not. The second yes and the first one not. Both or either or. There's a lot of options, right? The answer is either or. Says the Gemara. The latter Tanai of 200 is not Mavatal, the Tanai of what? Of Shimush. Rotzda misham shasla. If she wants to get, she can choose to be mishamish. Rotzda and they send us time if she cops and give the 200. Okay, guys, that's okay. Now, Aval Amar Lo b'fnei shnayim. Hari zekitech amanash etitin limitayim zuz, and you didn't give over the get. Because of Amar Lo, you give over the get b'fnei shnayim, and you say Hari zekitech amanash etitin li gimel meya zuz. You don't have to give 500. Bittul divrei achrein esarishain. Right. The first one is Mavatal one, the second one. First one's Mavatal the second one. So guys, good? Clearly the second one's Mavatal the first one. Guys, look, now, you need aid over here, correct? Can I have one aid from the first giving over to the one aid on the second giving over? In other words, I got Reuven and Shimon and I got Levi and Yehuda. Can I take Reuven and Levi? Can I take Shimon and Yehuda, a mix and match? Because they're all there on a condition, albeit it's not the same condition. Good. So in this scenario, you clearly cannot, because Reuben and Shimon are not Eidim at all. because you mavatal there tonight. They're out. In other words, clearly you can't go ahead and so there's no kiddush in telling me they can't mix and match. The mix and match is when they're both tonight are in vogue, either or. You might think what? Since it's one either or, it's like one get, and it can be accomplished either by giving the money or by being mishamish. So I would thought that Reuven can match with Yehuda and vice versa. Kamash, well, no. Each one is only on their own tonight. Says the Gemara.
And you won't say that 200 is Nichlal and 300?
You battle it. That's it. It's gone. In other words, don't think you need to give 500. You say you mavatal the 200. You don't have to give both. Or you don't, right? Or either or. In other words, you can't get away with 200. You can't get away with 200. You have to. Good. You understand? It is nichlal, but it doesn't. You understand Yehuda? It doesn't make a difference. No, it's 200 or 300. I mean, how much do I have to give? No, if you give 200, if you'd say the same thing as either or, so it'd be stupid, right? Either 200 is supposed to 300. No, we don't say that. Stafka 300. We say that you weren't given the option. The original 200 is off the table. By Shimish the father, if you give the 200, it's still on the table. But over here, clearly it's off the table. Now, says the Gemara, so Shimon and Levi, or it can't be Mishtav Levi Yehuda, you can't mix and match. Hey, on what statement was that stated? We had two statements. We had the either or statements, or we had the 200, 300 statement. Which one is going on? Ilema Aseifa, if it's going on the 200, 300 statement, Hari Bottle. Guys, Reuben and Shimon are out of the ballpark completely. Their tonight is gone. So of course they're not mitzaref. Ella, what's it going on? It's going on a Resha. The case of the mix and match, either or, do this one or that one. So I would think Pshita says, of course, no, how the Tema, call the Kiyume Tanoi Mitzarfin. Guys, since either one of these can do the job to divorce her, so I would think maybe you're mitzaref. Like, just view it as one big Tanai, and it's two ways to be Mekayim, and therefore Shimon can mitzaref with Levi, and Shimon with Yehuda, vice versa, Kamash Malon. That no, they can't mix it. Each one is their own Tanai. Let's do the last Rashi, guys. Ela Reisha de Kamar, oi hai. Mao de Tema, Hoil Mekayim Gita Bechad Mahani Tanai, Havila hu Kichat Tanoah. I might think since the get could be Mekoyim with either the Shemesh of the father or the giving 300. So I said we view it as one Tanai. The whole Sade, Misade Lekiyume Tanoi, the Hagita, that's Starfu, and therefore any one of the Aiden that is part of the Kloliistic Tanai could be Mitzarif, Mashmalon, that no, that even though you can divorce with either one of the Tanoim, but each aid is unique to its own Tanai. Shmak. Hazekitech in Loi Basi Mikan at Shloishim Yoim. This is your get. If I don't come from now until 30 days, and he's going from Yehuda to Golo. Now, he gets to the town of Antipras, which Pashtus is what in Yehuda, the Chazer, and he comes back, Batal. So here's the Havamina, guys. What exactly are we talking about? Guys, this is going to be what you think and what is. What's the what you think? Look at Rashi, guys. Look at Rashi with the three lines over where it's still thin. Kasal kedaitach antirpras betchilas galul. The half mean is antirpras is the beginning of galul. Bahari mitnaya rishon halach legalul, and he went to galul. And he didn't wait there 30 days. Ubitl haget shahari bought because he came. Avoloy megiel antirpras bechazar. Guys, here's the half a mean of the Gemara of Mishnah. Listen to this case. If you get to place X, you have to stay there 30 days. If you come back before 30 days, right, it's not a get. Good, the clock is ticking. You better be back before 30 days if you get there. Okay? What happens if you never got there? You stopped short. So therefore what? The clock never started. It's only if I reach to place X. If I don't get to place X, the clock doesn't start. And therefore I'd be able to go ahead and go back. So here's the Avmi the Gemara.
What do you see that from his expression?
Just hang in there. I say, this is your get. If I don't come, mikan at shleishim yoim, from now until 30 days. Now, if you would stop right there, you'd both be correct. But you got a problem. What's your problem? Read the next few words. So obviously there was something said about Yehuda or Golol, or why would the Mishnah be telling me that? You got, you stopped short, right? And once you said that already, obviously there must have been some words discussed about Yehuda and Golo. I would agree with you. Guys, you here? So watch. So what does Rashi think they said? That if you reach Golo, then you got 30 days to come back, right? And if you don't come back, it's a good get. Higil and Pirius, if he gets to Amperius, and the Havamina guy is where's Amperius? In Golo. So meaning you started the clock ticking, the Chazar, and you came back. Batal Tanai, right? You Mavatal the Tanai. Good. That was it. You know, you fulfilled it. The Chazar, Batal Tanai. You Mavatal Tanai. Tanai was the what? This is your get if I don't come back until 30 days. And he went to Golo, he gila into Piris v'chazar, he came back, then Batal Tanai, then the Tanai is Batal. Because okay, Rashi, good look at Rashi again. Let's take from the top. V'gila and Piris v'chazar miyad Tanai Batal. Klaimar v'shuvein nikashul garishba. He was. This is your get. If I don't come back, he came back. What? The words don't make no sense over here. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Not only doesn't make any sense, it's not going to. In the end, it's not going to be a good shot. It's tremendous chiddush, guys. Outside, guys. It's. Hang with me. Just listen. What is, and what I'll tell you the pshat, the havamina, and I'll tell you the maskana before we do it. So based upon here's the thing. This is your get. This is the havamina. This is your get. If I get to Golo, if I get to Antirpis, which is in Golo, and I don't come back within 30 days, then it's a good get. He reached Antirpis, and he came back. It says the get is batal. So how does Rashi learn? Rashi learns the following. Rashi says, here's the havamina of the Gemara. Why do you mention Antirpis in Golo? Because if you didn't get to Golo, the northern part of Eretz Yisrael, you stopped in Yehuda, then this whole clock about 30 days doesn't begin at all. It only starts ticking, right? The clock starts ticking only when you get to Antirpis. That's the havamina of the Gemara. And now we're going to do the same thing with a place called Kfar Usnoi, which you're going from, instead of going south to north, you're going from north to south. And then we're going to have the same case with leaving Eretz Yisrael. And the havamina of the Akko is what in Akko is the last place. So let's see. So that's the first case. No, there's no difference. There's no difference. They're just telling you that Antirpis is the last place in Gola, and this is just giving you location. No, the Chiddush is the same, Avrami. So now, continues the Mishnah. That was case number one. Now he's going from north to south. So now the Chazar Batal Tanoi, because now the havamina is that what? That obviously he must have reached Yehuda. That Kfar Snai is Yehuda. Just like at the previous guys is in Galol and the clock started ticking, Kfar Snai must be in Yehuda and the clock started ticking. So what's the havamina, guys? The same case. In other words, if I get to Medina Sayyam, I got 30 days to come back, right. And if I don't, he gets to Aku v'chazar batal. Mashma Aku is considered what? Medina Sayyam. Good. Okay, so guys, we have three cases, apparently the same scenario. Going from south to north, Antiperius, north to south, Kfar Sinai, leaving Eretz Yisrael, Aku. And in each case, you got the clock sticking, or better yet, ticking, right? Because you reached the north, you got to Antiperius. You reach the south because you got to Kfar Sinai, and you reach Chutz La'aretz because you got to Aku. Okay, I told you, he asked that question. You're telling me the chiddush that what we're going to see it as a chiddush. Now, the last case, this is your get when you don't see me. If you don't see me for 30 days, it's a get. The guy's coming back and forth. He's looking at all. Since he's not miyachid with her, it's not a get. Okay. How is that get? It's a get. Yeah. Okay. Now, guys, based upon our Mishnah was on the Pirius in the north. Yes. Based upon a Mishnah, was Kfar V'Snai in the south? Yes. Based upon a Mishnah, what was Aku and Chutz La'aretz? Yes. We're going to question all three things. Now, L'meimer de Antipris begolu have kaima u'remin oles yustira ava teisefta. What does teisefta say? Antipris b'Yehuda. Can't get more. Kfar V'Snai begolu. Got you hear? That's a problem. And Beintayim, the small distance between them, if you would have this Tanai, guys, and you reach then Matil and Isel Churma, then you go ahead and put a Churma because we're not sure whether it's the north or the south. So if you're coming from the south, I'm not sure it's the north. If you're coming from the north, I'm not sure it's the south. And then she would not be able to get, she wouldn't be able to marry a Kohen, but she wouldn't be able to marry somebody else because we're not mesukip whether the condition was fulfilled or not fulfilled. Okay, now, we got a problem, guys. We got to steer it, guys, outside. What's our problem? You, based upon a Mishnah, say the clock started ticking because you reached the north, which is Antiperius, or you reached the south, which is Kfar Sinai. We got a Tosefta saying openly that what? Antiperius is the Yehuda and Kfar Sinai is the Galil. So because of that, guys, we're changing the pshat. Guys, because of that, we're changing the pshat. Because of location. Rabbi Trey Tenoi Kama. There was two conditions made over here. What were they? Kamala. Imatina legalol. If you reach the galol, la alter lahavekita. If you reach the galol immediately, what? It's a get. Where did she get to, guys? Where did he get to? Antiperius. Not a good get. You know why? Because it's in Yehuda. And what's the second part of the Tanai? Forget about location. If you don't come back for 30 days, then what? It's a get. Outside, guys, we just changed the whole pshat. Here's what we thought. We thought that when you reach the north, you got 30 days to come back, and Antiperius is the north. 1 second. I got to tell you, Sefta saying Antiperius is the south. Says the Gemara, and Kfar Sinai is the south. No, it's the north, right? Says the Gemara, that's not the right pshat. Here's the right pshat. He said not one condition. He said two conditions. His was two conditions. If I get to the north, you're divorced. Nothing to do with me coming back. Nothing to do with clock ticking. Period. You get to the north, you're done. Good. A second tonight. And if I don't come back from within 30 days for wherever I am, right? If I don't come back within 30 days, you're also divorced. What did the Mishnah say? Now let's go back to the Mishnah. Go back. Either one. Come back. Let's go back to the Mishnah now. This is your get. Very good shmat. Heshi and Dov both learn the same way. We take it literally, right? Wherever, if I don't come back for 30 days, then what? Done. Next. And in addition, there's another thing. What's the addition? And if I get to Golol, you're divorced. And if you get to Golol, you're divorced. Higil Antiperius v'chazar, Batal. You know why? Because Antiperius is Yehuda, like the Tosefta. It's not Golol. So it's still, since I didn't reach the location that I said I would, and you're divorced, I'm not divorced. And since I came back within 30 days, you're not divorced. Geschmack is anything. Now the same thing, Kfar Sinai. Okay, so now back in the Gemara. You had a kasha that Kfar Sinai is mashmitz what? It's in Yehuda, right? No. Okay, that's it. And the same thing with Kfar Sinai, right? The same thing over there. Right? If I go now, what's the guys? This is your get. If I reach what? If I reach Chutz La'aretz, it's a get. Right? Reach Chutz La'aretz is a get. And if I don't come back within 30 days, it's a get. So now, remember, the Akum Medina Sayom Kaima? You mean Akos in Medina Sayom? From Rav Safra, ki havi miftri Rabbanu me'adadi be'Ako, havi miftri mishum de'asal asas meretz Chutz La'aretz. They would stop in Aku, because Aku is the last locale in Eretz Yisrael. So in other words, guys, what was the same Havamina? The same Havamina was, if I reach Aku, the clock starts ticking and I got 30 days to get back, correct? That's the teretz. No, if you reach Chutz La'aretz beyond Aku, then you're finished, right? The teretz, if you get to Aku, you're finished. No, you're still in vogue, excuse me. You're still okay. I Harry said get on my understanding Yaim. Well, you heard Medina Sayyam, Vikila Aku, but right. Aku is not Medina Sayyam. The tonight was if you reach to the north, you reach to the south, you reach to Medina Sayyam, right? So Aku is not Medina Sayyam. So that the same teretz, guys. Let's see it inside. Amar by trade tonight Karmala. Imetina Medina Sayyam la Alta la Vikita. Imishtoi be'urcha till Sayyam v'layasina la Havikita. Two Tanayim. If you get to Medina Sayyam, it's a get. 30 days, it's a get. Higila active chaza, the loyal Medina Sayyam mata, you didn't get to Medina Sayyam, v'layishtu yinami yishtoi till Sayyam. You didn't wait in the road 30 days, bottle to know it's bottle. Very good. Okay, what was the last thing, fellas? What was the last thing? What was the last thing? This is your get, as long as I don't see it for 30 days. If I didn't see a face for 30 days, the Lashon is very important. Why is the Lashon? It says, how does that get? Kol zaman she'ever mikeneged panayach shleisha yamim, hayoylech ba, hayoylech how does that get? It's a very funny thing. Yeah, what are you throwing yichud in there? Where are you throwing yichud? Guys, there's a concept of get yashan. Fellas, a get yashan. If a man wrote a get for his wife, he didn't give it to you yet, and had yichud between, but chayish was boil her, and therefore she might be pregnant. And therefore she have it, you divorced and you have it, the date of the get and the child out of wedlock. So therefore it's called a get yashin. The Rabban, it's not a good get. So with that in mind, says the Gemara. Says it says what he wasn't away for 30 days. Some Rav Huna, my panayach tashmish. The panayach doesn't mean see, it means to live with you. But my karle panayach. So it's a lashon naki. It's a good lashon. So he said, "This is your get if I'm not with you for 30 days." And he wasn't with her for 30 days. It means that not. It means seeing you. Mikatani harizum megureshes. It doesn't say you're megureshes. Harizet katani. The lahavi get yashan, right? Ulachimalu till siyoyma havikita. And when it reaches 30 days, it's a get. Guys, take a look. Guys, look at back the lashon of the Mishnah. Very meduik the Mishnah. We thought it was a conditional thing. Watch. Harizeh gitech kol zman she'eva mikenega penecha shleishim yoim. This is your get if you don't see me for 30 days. Now, he's around her a lot, isn't he? Guys, for 30 days in a row, he's around her. Are we chayish perhaps that he was with her? But there was no yichud. Harizeh get, meaning, and it's not a get yashan. It doesn't say they're divorced. You know why they're divorced? The Tanai wasn't fulfilled yet. What happens after 30 days? They're divorced. So it's a Rabbi Yochanan's b'midai to lashon. Harizeh get, and it's not a get yashan. You might think since he's around her, it's a get yashan. Kamashma, it's not a get yashan. And when the Tanai is fulfilled, then after 30 days, right? Because he saw her within 30 days, boom. He saw within 30 days, boom. Okay, that's the shot. Let's see it inside. One more time. Says Rabbi Yochanan, 2 lines where it gets wide. Rabbi Yochanan, it means seeing you, it doesn't mean tashmish. Mikatani Arzuma Gereshes, does it say the divorce is she's divorced? Doesn't say that. How is it get Katani? It's a get. The Lord have you get Yashan. That menach chayish for a get Yashan. Well, Chimalu till Siyomi, and once 30 days pass, Havigita, then it's going to be a good get. Tani Kabasi Rabbi Yochanan, a Bryce that's right to Rabbi Yochanan. How is it Gitech Kolzman She'ever Minega Penayach, Shloisha Yamim, while Yahoylechaba, Hoylechaba, Hoylvan is Yachadima, how is that get? Will get Yashan, ain't Chayish, not Chayish for a get Yashan, Pasha Pshat, you see openly like Rabbi Yochanan. Sharlon is Yachadima, Fregmar Velechish Shema Pius. How can you say it's a good get? Maybe he appeased her. Amarava Barhuna, Hachi Ama, she appeased him, Hachi Ama Amamari, Mishmei the Rab. Boyman and Menesalai Loy Mishlei Basi. In other words, she's believed to say that what? That Shalei Basi, that I was not with, that he wasn't with her. She's believed to say that. In other words, why are we chayish for a get Yashan? After all, they were around each other. Maybe he was Maphayas and they were together. Says the Gemara, you know what? No, because she's believed to say that didn't happen. Ikid the Masi Lamas Nisan, there are those who learn on the Mishnah. Me'achshav Lei Basi Mikari Yubeis Chaydesh, Umeisplach Yubeis Chaydesh, how is that get? Says the Gemara, V'lech Hashem Pius, maybe it was Maphayas and it's a get Yashan. Amar Rabbi Chana, Hachi Amar Amari. Mishmei the Rabbi Boyman and Meneslai, she's believed to say Leimer, Shlei Basi. Now Madam Masli Amas Nisan, you want to learn on the Mishnah where she didn't come out for 30 days. Koshken Abraisa, she was there every 30 days. In other words, where was 12 months? She didn't come within 12 months. Guys, the Mishnah. right? And they run around each other, and they're not chayish forget yashan. Certainly, certainly if you're not chayish over there, man the masala maslisan kolshkin abraisa, where he came. Oh, 1 second. Let me 1 second. Where he didn't come, right? The case of the Mishnah, where he didn't come, right? We're not chayish that maybe that there was appeasement. If not, the asni bereisha and ne'emenes alai, kol shekain abaraisa shahoya hoylechu ba. In other words, if you would need to say ne'emenes, if you have, oh yeah, that's pshat. In other words, why do you believe that there wasn't a pious? Because it has to be Zet Stein where he said what? Ne'emenes. So in a case where the Svara dictates that they weren't together because he wasn't around, nonetheless, she has to say Ne'emenes to avoid get Yashan. Certainly in a scenario where he was around and there'd be a reason to chayish for what? For a get Yashan, certainly she would have to say Ne'emenes. So that's what we just said now. One more time. Says the Gemara. The one who said the word ne'emenes to believe to say they weren't together on the case where he didn't come within 12 months, kolshken abraisa, it would be necessary to say that what? That chayish lefayis. Why? Because he was around. It's 30 days. Our Mishnah. Man the masnei abraisa avla maslisan halayasya. But in the Mishnah he didn't come, right? So you wouldn't have to say it at all. You know, it wouldn't be chayish for a get yoshan in the case where he didn't show up within 12 months. Okay, I think we'll stop over here.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.